mysterious, enchanting. What is it about her? How can she be so sophisticated without smoking cigarettes? Easy. She is the girl with ashtray in her hair. Ashtray, the very essence of stale cigarette smoke. So now you can be a drag without even smoking. Ashtray, for the girl who's on her own and likely to stay that way.
Okay, suppose you're reading a magazine and you come upon an ad like this. They're trying to tell you that it's romantic to smoke, that everything is pure and sweet-smelling. I mean, is this true? Would they really be sweet-smelling? How would you describe this scene? I mean, what would you say if you saw this ad? Don't call out. Oh, well, you can call out if you want to, but then just write down your answer in the first space on your worksheet.
Stage of the game, nearly every kid's going to give smoking a try, right? It's just sort of part of growing up. I mean, experimenting with things. And cigarettes are no exception.
Yeah. But the important decision is whether to continue smoking or not. I mean, why would you want to? I mean, they're pretty dirty and they're unhealthy and they make you all smell up and that.
Look, you want to smoke? Fine. You don't want to smoke? No worries. It's up to the individual. Okay?
Individual? Get her! Mate, the individual is falling for one of the biggest con tricks in the world. I mean, it's really amazing, you know, how some people think that something as unpleasant as smoking is sort of desirable. What a joke, eh?
Look, some people want to smoke because they like it, not because of any pressure or con job or anything. They really like it.
You're trying to tell me that you're under no pressure to smoke, Carl Morphet?
Well, like what, for instance?
Oh, well, adults and that, because they smoke all the time, and her mates. Yeah, and advertising.
Advertising? They banned cigarette advertising on telly years ago.
Shezza, there are more things in the world than just the telly, you know.
Like what, for instance?
Oh, there's still plenty of cigarette advertising, like magazines and papers and on trams and trains and at the footy on billboards.
Sure, but cigarette companies are doing things like sponsoring sports and ballet.
Oh, yeah, and pretty girls giving out free samples on the beach and supermarkets. Real decent, Cheryl.
Anyway, how can advertising pressure you to smoke?
Yeah, in a way, it does make a difference, but it sort of influences you.
Yeah, and they have all these healthy-looking people doing all these healthy activities.
On the bottom of the ad, in tiny letters, smoking is a health hazard.
Huh, some of these ads make you think you can pick up Sheilas and live in the country and be rich.
Some ads try to make smoking look tough.
Well, I'm not sucked in by stupid advertising. Maybe the little kids are, but not me.
Tobacco companies say that cigarette advertising has virtually no effect on children and that children's minds are not simply empty vessels waiting to be filled.
Oh, yeah, well, it says here that governments and authorities are considering extending bans on all cigarette advertising in the belief that this will reduce smoking. What do you think? Other forms of pressures for kids to smoke can come from teachers and parents and characters in film and television setting the example.
Adults?
Adults.
Well, at lunchtime at school, you see some of the teachers going off into the staff room to puff away. Kids see their dad smoking, so they think, if he can smoke, why can't I?
I had a teacher once, and she smoked. She was giving us assignments on smoking and telling us smoking was bad. It just seemed a ridiculous situation.
Some of the kids just reckon, well, if it's good enough for the teachers, it's good enough for them. So they just go down the shelter sheds and light up too.
But in in lots of cases, children of parents who smoke are really turned off smoking and try to persuade their parents to stop.
Mum smokes, but it doesn't make me feel like a cigarette.
My kids always ask me when am I going to give up.
I used to tell my son to stop biting his nails. He used to tell me, you better stop smoking first.
Once we went fishing, we had to go all the way back to shore to buy Dad a pack of cigarettes. He reckons he's his own boss.
I hate Dad smoking. I wish he'd give it up.
Hey, how strong an influence do you reckon adults are on kids smoking? Some people think they're making a personal statement about themselves when they smoke.
Yeah, that they smoke.
Oh, very funny, mate. Next up, the toughest and most amazing pressure of all. Kids.
Peer pressure.
Yeah, you know, peer pressure like their friends, kids down the road, kids at school, you name it.
At parties or discos, you sort of feel left out. So you have a couple of drags and that's it. You're not left out.
Well, when there's nice guys around, you light up a smoke.
They say, go on, try one, you're stupid if you don't.
Girls often smoke to impress older boys. All me mates smoke, so I want to smoke.
Lots of kids smoke because it makes them feel older.
Oh, tougher or smarter.
Yeah, well, it makes you feel like part of the gang.
Why do you smoke? Okay, so a lot of kids smoke because they think it's an important way to be accepted by their peer group.
Yeah, well, they're just scared that if they don't smoke, they'll be called a dag or a baby or somehow not be included in things.
Well, that's stupid.
I never pressure other kids because, you know, if they ask me, I know how I feel if I said no.
Why should I pressure other kids? It's bloody expensive. I don't want them to smoke mine.
Kids say chicken for half an hour, then stop.
I guess I smoke because I'm scared my friends will call me chicken if I say no.
I wouldn't say that.
What's the worst thing that can happen to you if you refuse a cigarette anyway? I mean, really?
Nothing much, really. They know I don't smoke, so that's that.
Well, listen, half the kids in our school smoke, so...
It's not as if you're in the minority or anything, because you're backed up by all the other kids who don't smoke.
Nothing much really happens if you say no.
Kids will respect someone who stick up for themselves.
No way, I reckon the kids who smoke want to be looked up to. They got something wrong with them.
Do you think kids can pressure other kids to smoke? I really can't handle any more of this.
Oh, no, but you're still happy to be conned by the multinational cigarette companies.
I'm not. I'm a free-thinking individual who makes up her own mind about things. Yeah. I'm not influenced by those stupid ads.
Well, then you're obviously falling for the old peer group pressure, but you're just another sheep.
I'm not. I really like smoking, and it's got nothing to do with pressure.
Oh,
helps me relax, calms me down.
Yeah.
And I like it for the taste.
Oh, yeah.
But I've got willpower.
Oh, sure.
I have. I can give up any time I want to.
Oh, right.
I can, just like that.
What, just like that, anytime you want to?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, sure, Cheryl. I mean, have a look at this ad. They're trying to make you think that a woman is more independent if she smokes. She's got a drawing board, right? She's probably a designer and she's smoking. I mean, what could you say to yourself if you saw this ad? there's absolutely no doubt that cigarette smoking affects your health. He's finding out the hard way.
Could never happen to me.
Nah, it'll happen to me.
Oh, it won't happen to me.
There are plenty of statistics around which show the relationship between smoking and diseases. You know, like that between 1/3 and 1/2 of smokers will die early because of their smoking. Or that on average, each day in Australia, 44 people die of diseases caused by smoking. Of these, 56% die of heart disease and 27% die of cancer, and the rest of airways diseases.
Anyway, it's easy to see why cigarettes affect your health. All you need to do is have a look at the chemicals contained in cigarette smoke. I mean, there's tar and there's nicotine. That's what wrecks you in the long term. Cop this. That's a slice of healthy lung tissue. And this, is what can happen to you after tar and nicotine. And there's carbon monoxide too, which limits the amount of oxygen your blood can carry even after your first couple of smokes. It's ugly.
It wouldn't happen to me anyway. No, it won't happen to me.
Yeah, smoking is a major cause of a number of diseases. And these diseases can affect many different parts of your body. First of all, there's cancer. Now, you've probably all heard of lung cancer, but it can also affect the voice box, the bladder, and the mouth. Then there are some diseases that affect the airways, the passages, you know, through which you breathe, that are caused by smoking. These include bronchitis and emphysema. Now, smoking can contribute to heart disease by clogging the arteries. When this happens, you have a heart attack. But it can also affect the arteries in your legs and feet. Did you know that more older girls are smoking now than boys? And smoking can have a very severe effect on unborn babies. What a mess, eh?
Yeah, it will never happen to me.
Well, let's go back to the very beginning and have a look at cancer. Now, cancer is a disorderly growth of cells. Now, a clump of cancer cells is called a tumour. Have a look at this. This is an actual lung cancer. The white bit is the tumour. You can see it's choking off the airway. Now, once cancer starts, it can keep growing and spread into other parts of the body and interfere with the workings of the liver and the lungs and so on. But lung cancer, this is the funny thing, lung cancer is probably the most commonly known cancer. One of the main ingredients of cigarette smoke, tar, is the major cause of lung cancer. You see, dirt in the lungs of people who don't smoke is normally cleaned out by tiny hair-like structures called cilia. But tar from smoke destroys this system, and smokers try to cough up the muck as the natural cleaners can no longer deal with it. Tar keeps irritating the lungs until it causes cancerous growths, like that. Did you know that a regular smoker takes in about a cupful of tar per year? It's ugly. Another pressure comes when you see adults smoking. I mean, here's an example. Suppose you can see the cigarette in a teacher's pocket. You know he or she smokes, and it might give you the idea that it's okay for you to smoke too. I mean, what might you say to yourself if you saw a teacher smoking? You know, probably the strongest pressure on kids to smoke probably comes from other kids.
Yep, their friends, kids at school, kids down the road and so on.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of young people start smoking not because they want to, because of what their friends might think of them if they don't. Hey?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Smashing the window. Yeah.
Quick! Hey, what are you doing here?
I just wanted to turn this book I borrowed.
All right, no worries.
What are you all doing?
Nothing much.
Smoking. What's it to you anyway? Yeah. Got a dub on us? Do you smoke?
Do you want to smoke?
Not really.
Doesn't hurt. Chicken, are ya? One little puff won't hurt you. Who are you anyway?
Well, okay.
Give him a smoke suit.
Yeah.
Well, mate.
I just didn't feel part of the group when I didn't smoke, so I started smoking.
My friend kept on saying, come on, have a smoke. It won't hurt you, and shoving it in my face.
If I don't smoke, they won't think I'm tough.
I get offered them a lot. In the toilets, at camps, and even out with my friends.
It's really hard to say no.
Once you've smoked, people just keep offering them to you.
Why do you let your friends bully you into smoking?
Well, it's just that friends who offer cigarettes won't take no for an answer.
Yeah, but have you really tried to say no? I mean, have you really tried it?
No.
There you go.
Got around.
Yep.
Got a few boys, mate.
Here comes. Here's your tin.
Going,
boys.
Dean.
Let's go, Phil.
There you go, mate. Don't eat me. What's my doing, mate?
Nothing much.
Let's go, Steve.
Yeah, Steve. How smokes, mate?
Yeah.
You want one?
Nah, I've given up.
Thought you were one of the gang. Must have been wrong, eh?
Thought you could stand on your own 2 feet. I guess I was wrong, hey?
No!
Makes me sick.
It's dirty, it's smelly, and I don't like it.
You going on Saturday?
Yeah, I suppose so. I didn't know you smoked.
Oh, only sometimes. Do you want one?
No, thanks.
What's your problem?
Nothing. I just don't smoke.
Are you chicken or something?
No, I just hate smoke.
Oh, okay. Come on, I'll get you a drink.
I used to hang around where everyone smokes, but I just don't hang around there anymore. I know if I did, I'd just get conned into having one.
It's easy for me to say no. I think smoking's a really dirty habit.
It makes your hands smell, your hair, your clothes and your breath. It's yuck.
Look, if you're gonna say no, you've got to be clear about why you're not smoking. You've got to keep reminding yourself so you won't get conned into it. I mean, think about it. What puts you off smoking?
Well, the smell.
Smell?
What it can do to your heart and lungs, I guess.
Definitely.
And how difficult it is to give it up once you've become hooked.
Exactly. So that when your mates put pressure on you, you've got all this ammunition to fire back and hit them with both barrels.
Oh, g'day. How was the swim?
Good. Oh, great. She's got smokes. Oh, I don't think I've got to last for another 5 minutes. Oh, cigarette? Oh, sorry. One? Got one?
No, thanks.
Don't be a dick.
I really don't want one.
Why not?
Well, just look at you. None of you could do without one if you wanted to.
Oh, come on. Of course I could. I could give up any day.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you of all people.
Yeah.
Oh, of course I could. Sure I could. Think.
I'm tired of it.
I just hate the smell. I can't stand it getting on me. I can't stand it getting on my friends, and I just hate it when the room fills up with smoke.
I didn't want to get addicted like those other zombies. My boyfriend's trying to give it up because smoking gives him bronchitis. There's no way I'm going to smoke either.
My uncle was in hospital from smoking. He had one of his lungs cut out. That was enough for me.
Yeah, well, a lot of the time the non-smoker feels put down by the smoker.
Yeah, but I reckon if you checked it out, you'd wake up to yourself that most kids don't feel any different about you. In fact, they might even respect you more for sticking up for your rights.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, I wonder whether they're going to be walking home this way today.
Look, Jen, I already told you old maggots probably kept them in.
Oh, Tara, where did you get them? Bought them. Do you want one?
No, thanks.
Why not? You've always had one before.
Yeah, but I don't really want one.
Oh, go on. No one's going to see you.
No, it's all right, thanks.
It won't hurt you.
Yeah, but I don't like the smell of the smoke.
Oh, don't be so dumb. Have one.
No, I don't want one.
All right, then. Don't have one, then. Well, what are we going to do now?
Well, I'm sick of waiting. Let's go and see if old maggots kept him in.
Good. Bye. Yeah.
Smoking's real terrible.
I don't like it. It just puts me off.
Want one?
Oh, no thanks.
Go on, have one.
Look, I don't smoke.
It won't kill you.
Yeah, go on, have one.
I don't want one.
Heavy, heavy.
He's scared.
Yeah, that's right. I'm real scared.
Come on, let's go.
Okay, see ya.
Gee. How come they kept on about it?
They're just trying to be tough. Give them a smoke and they think they're real men.
these days, more and more kids are saying no to cigarettes because they know that just the odd cigarette could turn into a really ugly habit.
And that smoking is the major cause of bronchitis, emphysema, lung cancer, heart disease, as well as the short-term effects.
Yeah. So what are you going to do next time?
I guess stand up for my rights and not get sucked in.
Yeah.
Make my own decision about smoking.
Yeah. Well, what about you?
Thanks, Shell. Nice of you to buy us a drink, Crusher. Sure. 2 beers, thanks, Shell. Cream puff. What could beat you, blokes? Hands down. Yeah, hands down. It's a test of strength. Here. What's he up to? Don't know. The trick is to balance the beers. Balance the beers, mate. Excuse me, gentlemen. There you go. What do we do now? That's your problem. Turkeys.
Things are really very simple. You either win or you lose. If you want to be a winner, so for the blues. If you want to be a winner, do you want to be a winner? If you want to be a winner, let me give you the
Watch the furniture, boy.
You see winners walk all over the guys who always lose. If you want to be a winner,
I want to knuckle him, Crusher. I never hit a man with glasses.
if you want to be a winner, you're going to have to choose.
Tobacco or not tobacco? Welcome to our show, ladies and gentlemen, where you can see, all rolled into one, sale of the ciggy. The new price is expensive. And family funeral. Let's meet our first contestant, Shane. Shane is a smoker from way back in Western Australia. How are you doing, Shane?
Good, thanks. I enjoy smoking because it makes me look cool and rugged, and one day I hope to be really tough.
That's great, Shane. OK, take your place over there. Let's meet our second contestant, a sometime smoker called Cheryl. How are you, sweetie?
Good, thanks. Yeah, I smoke whenever I haven't got anything to do with my hands and when I want to look sophisticated and mature.
That's great. Thanks very much, Cheryl. And moving right along there, our third and final contestant, Sam, who is a non-smoker.
Yes.
Well, that's great, Sam. Go and sit down over there. Well, let's get on with the show, ladies and gentlemen. Round one, what is the difference between fact and fantasy advertising?
Right. Question one. What is a factual ad? A factual ad.
A factual ad is where they give you lots of straight information about the product. You know, plain facts. That's why it's called factual.
Absolutely right. Let's move on to question two now. Question two. What is a fantasy ad? A fantasy ad. Well, that was close, wasn't it? But I think Cheryl got it. I'll just run the question by you again, Cheryl. What is a fantasy ad?
A fantasy ad is where they don't give you any actual facts about the product, but they put across a hidden message to make it look more attractive.
Absolutely fantastic! Congratulations, Cheryl, because now you can choose from our gift shop. Just answer this quick riddle. Where do all the old cigarette butts go?
The filter tip.
Good one, Cheryl. Which one of these fabulous prizes would you like?
I'll have the one on the right. That's grouse.
And why do you say that, sweetheart?
Oh, hang on a minute. You got me there. They're both the same, aren't they? Well, the one on the right looks a lot more exciting.
Yes, it's amazing what a difference advertising can make. How do you feel about it, guys? Did you fall for it?
Oh, yeah, I was really sucked in, Mr. Webb.
Yeah, I was too.
Oh, good on you, mate.
Oh, well, the other ad made it look really incredible.
You reckon it looked really incredible?
Well, it is incredible. I mean, I can usually tell the difference between a fact and a fantasy ad, but sometimes it's hard to actually recognise them.
All you've got to do is open your eyes.
It certainly is, Cheryl. I mean, what about cigarettes? They're all basically the same, aren't they? It's fantastically clever the way these advertising people can associate different fantasies with the various brands, don't you think?
If you say so.
We'll be back right after this break to see how you go when we tell you the real facts about cigarettes. Welcome back to Tobacco or Not Tobacco. In round one, we looked at the difference between facts and fantasies in advertising, and Cheryl raced ahead. And now, in round two, we're going to look at the facts about cigarettes. In this round, contestants will see who can make the longest list of facts about cigarettes. Are we ready? Set, go! one. Okay, let's check out what you've got here.
Expensive.
Yes, it certainly is.
Comes in packets.
Yes.
Makes you relaxed.
No, I'm sorry, but the medical evidence shows that that's not true. The reverse is in fact the case. We can't accept that.
Oh, gives you smoker's cough.
Good, Shane. Yes, it's a nasty cough you've got there. What else have you got?
I'm made of
Tobacco, yes, that's 4. Big points. And how are you going, Sam?
Good, thank you.
And what have you got for us?
Well, number one, it causes emphysema.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, it causes lung cancer.
Great.
Yes, it makes your heart beat much quicker.
Yes.
They can be menthol.
Yes.
Yes, and they're smelly.
Oh, yes.
And they fill up your ashtrays.
Great.
Yes, and they contribute to heart attacks.
Fantastic.
And they give you yellow fingers.
Yes.
And it makes you extremely unfit.
Yes, that's 9 big points for Sam. Hey! Okay, let's check out the champ. What have you got for us, Cheryl?
Well, it contains tar.
Yes.
Calms you down.
No, I'm sorry, we can't accept that.
Are addictive.
Yes.
Affects an unborn baby if a pregnant woman smokes.
Fantastic.
Are made of tobacco.
Yes.
And gives you bad breath.
Yes, okay, that's 5 points for Cheryl, and that makes Sam the winner of this round. Well, Sam, you really raced ahead there, didn't you?
Yes. Oh, well, I'm pretty good at lists.
Right, okay, Wiseacre, let's see how good you are at comparisons. Okay, what did you see there, Sam?
Oh, well, the car ad looks pretty straightforward, but the cigarette ad, that's pretty much a fantasy.
Right, question 2. Why do advertisers use these techniques and styles?
Well, I reckon that the main reason is because the factual ads, they use them because the product, the facts about the product are so good that they just speak for themselves, like Mozzie calls, you know, they're just so good you don't have to put them on the telly. And like fantasy ads, like for cigarettes and that, they have to create an image that will attract people to them, and so like if they use the facts that really are about cigarettes because they're so ugly, no one would buy them, so they have to make up this story, and that's called a fantasy.
That's right. Congratulations, Sam. You've won this round. Hey, get down. We'll be back for round 3 in just a moment.
Want to stand out from the crowd without having to smoke? Then Stub is the thing. Stub! Hundreds of dead ends go into each bottle for that unique aroma of stale cigarettes. One splash and you'll smell like a 20-a-day man. Stub. Remember, when you smell of Stub, you'll never have problems with girls again. Stub turns you green and succeed.
Welcome back. We've just looked at the facts about cigarettes. Not pleasant, eh? And now we come to our final exciting round. In this round, we look at the hidden messages created by advertising. Crack the code in fantasies about cigarettes. We ask each contestant, what do you see in this ad? What is the fantasy or image in this ad? And just who is this ad designed to appeal to? Okay, contestant number 1. Give it a spin, Shane. Yeah. Right, okay, question number 1, Shane. What do you see in this ad?
Well, there's 2 men, and they look like construction workers, and they're working on this real tall site that's towering above the city, and they're in this real dangerous situation, yet they still look, you know, pretty relaxed and calm and that. And they're having a break, a cup of tea and a smoke. And there's a caption underneath that says, "Smokes for blokes."
Great start, Shane, great start. Okay, question number 2. What fantasy do you see in this ad?
Probably that if you smoke this brand of cigarettes, you know, you're pretty tough, you're rugged sort of a bloke. You can handle dangerous, scary situations while still staying pretty relaxed and calm. And you've got mates what you can share things with.
Great stuff, great stuff. Okay, question number 3. Who is this ad designed to appeal to?
Someone who gets frightened easily and nervous and that, and who isn't real tough and, you know, rugged. Someone who wants to see themselves as tough and like, you know, one of the boys, but isn't. Someone like me, I suppose.
Great effort, Shane. Fantastic. Okay, it's time for contestant number 2, and it's the lovely Cheryl. Come in here, Cheryl, and give it a spin, sweetie. Right, okay, Cheryl, come in here and tell me what you see in that ad.
Oh, geez, I can see an aeroplane.
Right.
Young, healthy people on bikes. Travel stickers, like the sorts you have on your suitcases. Lots of interesting words and phrases like international, passport, wherever you go. Sun trails, crystal waters, youngest, rich, miracle filters, that sort of thing.
Fantastic. Now, what is the image or fantasy they're presenting in that ad?
Well, I guess the fantasy is that if you smoke Peter Stuyvesant, you'll be young and healthy and rich, and you'll be able to travel all around the world, and you'll have a passport that'll take you wherever you like in the search of sun and sea, and you'll just be able to do what you like.
And lastly, who is the ad aimed at?
I suppose it's aimed at someone who's in a rut, someone who's got a job and they hate it and they just daydream all day about going off to exotic places.
And who might that be, Cheryl?
Someone like me, I guess.
Fantastic, sweetie. Great work. That was just terrific, wasn't it? And now let's go to our third and final contestant. Spin it again, Sam. Oh, great stuff, Sam. Now come in here and tell me, what do you see in this ad?
Oh, yes. Well, I see 2 blokes and a lady, and they're in a dinghy on a lake and that, and they've got some friends over there beside the lake, so they've got some friends. Oh, and they're pretty healthy looking, very healthy looking, and the lady, she's really laughing, so she's really happy, and that bloke, he's got a join the club t-shirt on, and that's telling you to join some sort of club.
And what is the fantasy or image in this ad?
Oh, well, the escort smokers really enjoy doing fun-loving things like riding in dinghies and going on lakes with their friends and just generally adventurous types. And another thing that gets me, though, is that somehow you're going to join some sort of club if you smoke. I mean, like a camping club or a bushwalking club. And the message, that gets me, Mr. Webb, that you needn't pay, the things you enjoy needn't cost you the earth. I mean, they're obviously talking about smoking and camping. I mean, that's where that's a real fantasy, Mr. Webb, because you can't get things too further apart than smoking and camping.
Fantastic stuff, Sam. You certainly have said a mouthful. Yes. And now to our third question. Who is this ad designed to appeal to?
Oh, well, it's obviously appealing to people who are really worried about the health aspect of smoking, and also people who worry about their money, and also shy people who, you know, want to join clubs and that.
Great, Sam. And does this remind you of anyone?
No.
Yourself, perhaps?
Oh, no, I've got plenty of friends, Mr. Webb, and I hate clubs.
Right, OK then, we'll go to a commercial break now, but we'll be right back to tell you who's won this competition, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, Sam.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Webb.
If Sam can tell the difference between fact and fantasy advertising, you shouldn't have any trouble. Spin the wheel for the people at home, Sam.
Here are some ads for decoding. For each ad, write down what's in the ad, what's the fantasy or image, and who would this ad appeal to.
Well, I started smoking at about 17, mainly because the group I was with all smoked, and I felt that it would make me part of that group, and also that it would make me more sophisticated, more grown up, and I liked that feeling. But before very long, I was smoking heavily, smoking 40 to 50 cigarettes a day, which I continued to do for many years. And then, to my shock, I was told I had lung cancer. And this was a big shock because I'd always been very healthy, never knew what illness was, always felt I would perhaps get some signs that I was getting an illness, but there weren't any. And just like everybody else, I thought it would never happen to me.
Woke up in intensive care, pretty crook for about 2 or 3 days. Then I was wheeled into a ward and they said, well, you can get up and try and walk around. So I got up and I walked around very slowly. I thought, bugger it. Into the lift, down to the canteen downstairs, put a packet of Camel and a box of matches and lit up. As I got in the lift, I lit up and went, collapsed. Next thing I knew, they were wheeling me back into my bed.
You obviously still smoke.
Sure, yeah. The stronger has to be a strong cigarette.
And you still do this after having had lung cancer twice?
Twice, yeah. Twice, as I said, the older you are, the harder it becomes to give away.
Now, another main type of cancer associated with smoking is cancer of the larynx, or voice box, just here. Now, you know, when this is affected, it has to be removed, and breathing happens through a hole in your neck.
My hobby was freelance broadcasting, and I found that at the microphone, my voice would become husky. Even more so than it is now. And I was sent to have a biopsy taken. The first one proved all right. 2 years later, it did not. It showed definite cancer. And I was given a fortnight to live, or get my larynx removed within that fortnight. Naturally, I had my larynx removed.
So then 2 weeks later, you actually had the operation?
Yes.
What did that involve?
It involved cutting my throat from the one ear right down the neck to the other. Lift the ear portion up, remove the voice box. Then stitches back and give me an opening, a stoma, through which I breathe.
Can we actually have a look at
yes,
at that? Right. So we can actually see the scar there.
You can see the scar from one side to the other. It's very well done.
Yeah.
But it is there.
Right. And the hole there
is where I breathe through.
You breathe. So when you eat or drink, what happens to the food and liquid?
That is shut off inside.
Right.
Previous to the operation, it was open.
Yes.
But in order not to get food into the lungs, that has been shut off on the inside.
Were you a smoker?
Yes, I smoked daily.
Never happened to me. No chance.
Most smokers have some form of disease of the airways. You know, these breathy bits here? Anything from smoker's cough to bronchitis to emphysema. Now, the chemicals contained in cigarette smoke irritate the lining of the air passages or bronchial tubes, causes inflammation and infection. They can also paralyse the cilia, which are the little hair-like structures that clean the lungs of any pollution, thus making the lungs more susceptible to any infection. This infection is in fact called bronchitis. Now, as you may know, the lung surface is made up of little sacs which pass oxygen into the blood, right? Now, tobacco smoke hardens the walls of the sacs until just the pure pressure of breathing makes them explode one by one. And as a result, less and less oxygen passes into the blood. This disease, it's called emphysema, is why some smokers have to gasp more than people with healthy lungs to get the oxygen they need to live. You know, many people with emphysema need an oxygen tank nearby in order to stay alive. Can you believe that?
Well, it started off that I had bronchitis quite badly, you know, so I've got worse and worse through the years. And then I got asthma and emphysema.
And what happened when you got the emphysema?
Walking was difficult. If I sort of hurried a little bit, I'd have to sit down and have a rest because I was just panting for breath.
What would your advice be to kids who are experimenting with cigarettes or maybe starting?
Never start. Because you just don't know the damage you're doing to your body. And once it's damaged, no money in the world can bring it back.
It's a state of panic. And, you know, you could easily do it if you put a pillow over your head and someone held it firm and you try breathing for about 5 minutes and it's exactly the same type of feeling. And I'll tell you what, it's not nice. It's just if you're smothering, you know, it's a terrible, terrible thing.